Tenemos la suerte hoy de contar con Sebastian Vieten, que es director de M&A y Ventures de Stepstone Group, aparte de colega y una persona que está muy involucrada con el día a día de Turijobs también, quien nos hablará, nos introducirá a Stepstone y también nos presentará a Tobias Zimmerman, que es la siguiente presentación que tenemos. Así que, Sebastian, stage is yours. Thanks so much for coming. Welcome to Barcelona. And yeah, I really appreciate the fact that you're here today. So all yours.
Well, first of all, thank you for the introduction, Xavi, and apologies to you guys for speaking in English. I actually did learn Spanish. Thank you. I did learn Spanish back in school, so I understand quite a lot of what you guys are saying, but unfortunately my Spanish is not so good that I can speak fluently, so I hope you don't mind. It will be short, so don't worry. So I'm so happy to be here today, and I'm so happy that you guys all made it to Barcelona and to this beautiful venue. I heard that you came from a lot of different places, and I think it's quite remarkable to celebrate the 20-year anniversary for Turijobs, because in the online world, I don't know many companies out there that actually are 20 years old. So once again, thank you. And yeah, I'm the representative for Stepstone today. So I'm going to introduce you to our company just real quick in a couple of minutes. As Xavi said, I'm Director of Ventures and M&A. So that means that on the venture side of things, I'm looking after a variety of different companies within the group. And on the M&A side, as the name says, basically I'm responsible to acquire new, fancy, cool job boards and tech companies for our group. And it's quite funny because when I started 7 years ago, the first acquisition that I actually accompanied was one of Turijobs. So I'm still amazed that Xavi is still on board in the team, and that makes it also kind of special for me today. So this is the Stepstone Group basically. Generally speaking, we are a leading player in the online recruitment world. So what we do is to connect talents and employers as best as we can. We ourselves are quite an old company. We were founded 1996 in Oslo, in Norway. So since then, we actually had quite an interesting journey. So we got stock listed, we got delisted, we grew internationally. And then 10 years ago, we were acquired by a large German media company called Axel Springer. And since then, we actually had a strong growth. So as Xavi said, we are operating in a variety of markets internationally. We grew a lot over the last couple of years, and meanwhile, we employ like 4,000 people around the world. And I think it's important to say that 1/3 of these employees are actually working in product and tech. 1/3 are working in sales, and the rest is basically doing all the administrative stuff and working in marketing and other supporting functions. But I think the combination kind of describes very good what Stepstone is doing. So having so many people in sales actually says, okay, we are really customer-centric. So we really are close to the customers, want to make them happy, trying to understand what they really need. And with the product and tech side, obviously, we would like to build the best solutions based on what our clients tell us. And as you can imagine, with the emergence of AI, it's currently interesting times. And the colleagues from Turijobs will explain to you later on also what it means for Turijobs. So this is basically how we do it. And how we are structured as a Stepstone Group. So we're operating in 3 different pillars. The first one is called EMEA Marketplaces. So this is basically all the job boards that we own and operate around the world. So companies like Turijobs. We do have job boards also in Western European countries. Germany is our home market. We are strong in the UK, Ireland, Austria, Belgium. We operate also in Central America as well as in the Caribbean. We actually have a job board in Mauritius, so pretty cool places. Unfortunately, I haven't been there yet, but anyway. So as you can imagine, having so many brands, it's kind of challenging to kind of harmonizing them. We acquired most of these businesses in the past, meaning they have their own brand perception in the local markets, they have their own tech stack, and it takes really some time really to harmonize them all. And this is what we are currently trying to do, actually building our own platform. So that makes us able to develop certain things just once and deploy it really, really fast, like in every of our markets and to our clients. The second pillar is called North America Solutions. So here we're actually not offering like a job board or a marketplace, but a software solution. So we acquired a couple of years ago a leading programmatic job advertisement company called Upcast. So what they basically do is to take the job from an employer's ATS, push it out using algorithms to a huge network. So they have like 10,000 sites, obviously all related to jobs, and then grab the candidates and the applications from where the actual best fitting candidates are, and then pushing it directly back into the employer's ATS again. And the cool thing about Upcast is that they get so-called quality signals back from the ATS, so they actually know when a candidate got admitted to an interview or when it actually got hired. So they're using that information again just to optimize how they actually publish the jobs and where they grab the candidates from. So from an employer perspective, that means I get a lot of good quality candidates and for less money and basically in an efficient way. So while the company is currently focusing on the US, we obviously hope to also bring them over to Europe rather sooner than later, and hopefully also to Spain and supporting here our local business. And the last piece is called Ventures and Services, so basically what I'm responsible for. So here I've just included a couple of companies. All of these companies are somewhat different to what I just described. Maybe I could highlight just one company called Universum. Universum is a Swedish-based business working in the space of employer branding. So what they do is to collect like a lot of data from students and young professionals around the world about an employer's brand perception. So how the brand is perceived really by young professionals, provide rankings and data and insights to the employers, and based on that, run a few consulting projects like developing new employer brands. So if any one of you thinks and believes, hey, we need to work on an employer brand, Universum is probably the place to go. So I mentioned, and Xabi also mentioned, that we are one of the largest companies out there. So I just brought a brief overview of the ranking in terms of revenues and how we compare to the other largest companies out there. So obviously LinkedIn is like a huge player, and Indeed is similarly. So these are basically our key competitors, and as you can imagine, LinkedIn is just huge. They're owned by Microsoft. They have massive power in the back in terms of financial resources and tech capabilities. And Indeed is also kind of strong and operating like everywhere globally. So in all of the markets that you can imagine. But from Xabi that they're not that big of a deal in Spain, so I hope that we can keep it that way. But yeah, this is basically just the ranking. But as we are in Europe, just wanted also to give you a brief overview of the European players that are out there next to us. So there are still some local leading job boards out there. They are somewhat smaller than us because they are kind of sticking to the local markets and not internationally operating. But we believe that it's going to be a disadvantage going forward. As mentioned, with the competition of LinkedIn and Indeed, which bring a lot of innovation, a lot of speed and products to the market, being customer-centric and also focusing on candidates, these guys simply don't have the resources going forward basically to compete. Still, they have a good brand perception, they push a lot into marketing efforts, but product-wise, I think they're going to struggle sooner or later. And this is already my last slide, which shows a little bit the history of the Stepstone Group, actually the acquisition that we made in the past. And obviously, I wanted to highlight Turijobs here and explain a little bit the reason why we acquired Turijobs back in 2017. It has actually two reasons. The first one is that we believe that the hospitality industry is somewhat different from the rest of the labor market. So it's not really limited to local boundaries, to national boundaries. It's an international market. So let's say a bartender from Switzerland can easily apply to a job in Italy, in Spain, in Portugal, wherever he wants. And we believed that actually building like a new European network of different hospitality players is addressing exactly this need, actually, and also the needs of the employers, of course. So besides Turijobs, we also have a hospitality player in the UK, which is called Caterer. We do have Caterer Global, which is operating in the Middle East. And then we also have a variety of brands in Germany, in Austria, and Switzerland. Maybe you know Hotel Career, Gastrojobs as a brand name. So the idea is basically to form like a network of such job boards in Europe and actually allow the internationalization of the hospitality industry and serve our clients even better. And as you can see, we not start with Turijobs. We also had subsequently acquisitions like the one in Switzerland. We acquired Hoteljob CH, so a player in Switzerland to strengthen actually our market position. And the second reason is we wanted to have a foothold also in the Spanish market. So Spain is one of the largest economies in Europe, and the Stepstone Group, besides Turijobs, has not yet have a presence. And we simply wanted to learn, be there in the market and learn basically from the market. So how is recruiting working in this market? What are the challenges? Want to learn and try to apply also our learnings to the rest of our service offering that we have. And potentially more is to come with the Stepstone Group in Spain, at least we hope for it. Yeah, we'll see. So that was really quick about the Stepstone Group. So if you have any questions related to the Stepstone Group or to Turijobs, just approach me, let me know. Today it's not really about the Stepstone Group, but about Turijobs.